Hello.
My name's Christine Lowe and I'm the President of the Friends of the Christchurch Art Gallery, and with me is Peter Scholes, one of our Life members. Christchurch is a regional centre and hub of the South Island. It gains its identity from the history and creativity of the region, and in turn provides cultural leadership. The city also benefits economically from the activities that creative arts generate. Cultural events, including concerts and exhibitions, can be identified as individual economic generators, but for them to be viable, an enduring, viable and strong underlying cultural structure is required. Key lighthouse drivers here are the museum and the art gallery. While these two have a superficial similarity, they have different strengths. The museum is primarily about answers, telling us about our past, how we have been shaped, and where we are at present. The art gallery, however, is more about questions and offering new ways of seeing. It raises questions that help us as a community to expand horizons, question the present, and look to the future. Good art, in the words of Julian Dashper, raises questions rather than supplying answers. By housing the often unique and at times challenging ideas that emerge from contemporary artists, the gallery is a major contributor to ensuring that Christchurch does not lapse into insularity and introvision. As a tourist drawcard, the gallery has a strong claim. A dramatic building with a presence that makes it noticeable. This has been built on with a strong acquisitions policy to laud creativity that speaks to our development. The Friends want Christchurch to be recognised as having a vibrant arts and art activity society. This will not only attract and encourage locals back into the central city, but encourage national and international tourists. This will further add to the economic value the gallery has previously demonstrated it contributes to the city. Visitors to Christchurch that engage with the gallery come to be exposed to our creativity and how our artists are seeking to question the social ecology of our times. A strong public dynamic collection is a way for Christchurch to develop travelling exhibitions that will reflect well on the city's cultural heritage and future. As stated in our written submission, the gallery allows the citizens of Christchurch and visitors, both local and international, to experience the largest collection of Canterbury art in the world. This not only educates, but provides a touchstone for identity. We live in uncertain and dynamic times. Recovery priorities restrict what can be achieved and dictate short-term stringencies. But the long-term plan will hopefully include a commitment to ensure the art gallery is a font of excellence and an example for the creative arts community and a contributor to the vitality of a modern and notable community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Questions? Tim?
Yes, my question is with regards to just the collection of Canterbury art and or any art piece. What is the role of the art gallery for the population is to display in a sensitive way the art that punters that you're displaying and the punters are coming to see. What is the difference to asking entrepreneurs or art collectors to lend or for you to borrow those pieces whilst they're on display, rather than owning pieces where they sit perhaps in your vaults for some period of time unseen?
Well, I'm speaking from the Friends. We're not the art gallery.
Yeah.
Okay, so from that perspective, the gallery is owning that. It's something that is kept in perpetuity for the citizens of the community. Private art collectors can, on a whim or whatever, sell. We've then lost that artwork, whether it's within New Zealand or it goes overseas. And I think it is Personally speaking, and from the Friends' perspective, having a collection in Christchurch is a valuable asset. It's only appreciating in value, and we can draw on the different pieces to bring them out. They're not on the whim of whatever's current in fashion or whatever is in whatever current collectors are collecting.
Okay, thank you.
Yanni.
If I can say, also, sir, as a punter and a collector, I don't really always like displaying my works in public. Yeah, and that's the difference where these guys in the gallery can and do regularly display the works in public so that you can see them.
Yanni.
Thank you. Not sure how long you've been involved for, but I can recall when the art gallery was first built, and then there's been kind of a change in the last 5 to 6 years, or maybe the 2 to 3 years before the earthquake, and I think of things like the Ron Muick exhibition. Mm-hmm. So I was wondering if you could just maybe give us a bit of a snapshot, because it seems to me we built this big facility, mm-hmm. and it was very traditional and wasn't really engaging, and just before the earthquakes, a few years before the earthquakes, it really had a change where it was a lot broader and a lot more attractive for people to come and experience. And I just wondered if you could maybe just reflect on why that happened. And
well, that would be a question for the gallery staff
Okay.
and the curatorial staff to answer. We, as Friends, we had a steady membership up until the time of the earthquakes, and it was growing exponentially due to the collections and the displays that were put on. We have kept a core membership since then who are really keen on the art gallery and what it has achieved and what it will achieve once it reopens. As to the design, well, that's surely a council decision. It wasn't anything to do with the gallery.
so I guess what I was really trying to understand is, because my recollection was that council decided to put some more money investing into exhibitions coming into the art gallery, mm-hmm. and I guess what I saw was that the Friends and others philanthropic people started to contribute a lot more, and it meant that there was a real change in the focus. With that little bit of extra council investment, we got a huge return. But
well, speaking from the Friends' point of view, we have always been generous donators to the gallery, regardless of where they were, right back to the times of the Robin McDougall and into the current. We've always had a fundraising event or something where we have contributed to contemporary works for them to purchase. So whether more philanthropic persons and organisations have got on board, well, you'd have to ask them why they've suddenly decided to.
Excellent. Thank you. Oh, Jimmy.
Thank you. Based on your oral deputation, particularly emphasize the importance of art gallery and the different function of art gallery in the museum. But you also the particular, thank the council for ensuring the gallery will be more resilient through the installation of based isolation. Mm-hmm. I just want to know whether you think that's appropriate or not, or are you happy or acceptable regarding council secure budget in the long-term plan for to rebuild this art gallery?
Well, obviously, it was a grand opportunity for the gallery to, having been in the gallery for 10 years, mind you, 3 to 4 of that was because they've been out of it because of the earthquake. They could have reorganised it, but due to funding priorities, they've just had to patch job what had to be done, and the only significant investment since the earthquakes is the base isolation, which is a significant investment and will carry the gallery forward. So, and it, as I said in the submission, that it gives security to donors and to people wishing to loan works, that it's all not going to come down. Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
The next submission is the